Good day, everyone. This is Abner L. Deliosa, the Guidance Counselor, and at the same time, the head of the Guidance and Counseling Services Office of Sorsogon State University. So today, I will be sharing with you some thoughts on positivity with emphasis on self-care, mindfulness, happiness, and then resiliency. So my presentation this morning will be guided with these objectives. Number one, we will be understanding, we will be providing and understanding how, the meaning, the symptoms, and even the effects of stress. And then later on, we will also be providing some tips to manage and cope with stress. And of course, at the end of the presentation, we'll be promoting mindfulness, self-care, resiliency to unleash your full potential, and of course, to achieve happiness. Okay, so let me begin with you with the question, how do you feel today? So I hope that everybody is okay. So no, so the importance kasi of knowing, identifying, and then describing your feeling, no, is that we can do something about what we feel. Kasi kung hindi natin alam kung ano yung tunay na nararamdaman natin, we can't do nothing about it, no? So kailangan lagyan natin ng label kung ano talaga yung tunay natin nararamdaman, whether you feel happy, whether you are sad, whether you are anxious, whether you are disappointed, and other and other feelings. Kailangan lagyan natin ng label para malaman natin kung ano talaga yung nararamdaman at yung magagawa natin. All right, so my presentation with you this morning, I will be using this framework, no? Para makita natin kung ano ang pwedeng mangyari sa atin. Kasi ang kagandahan ng framework na ito, uh, we will be looking at the comfort zone, our fear zone, our learning zone, and then the growth zone. Kasi lahat naman tayo ay nagnanais na makamit ma-overcome yung fear zone na iyan into learning zone, and at the same time, we will be growing. Okay? So, puntahan natin una yung comfort zone natin. So, balikan natin yung comfort zone natin. So, let's try to revisit and then going back our practices, our feelings before COVID-19. So, nandito, these are the things that we enjoyed before, no? The celebration of the fiesta and then festival in the Philippines. So, 'di ba by May and then June, ito yung panahon ng fiesta sa atin, and we Pinoys talagang mahilig tayo kumain with people, with friends, no, with families, and also the celebration and then even the traditions and religious activities that we have noon, 'di ba? On how we celebrate the Holy Week. Simula siya ng Holy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Easter, Black Saturday to Easter Sundays, na i-enjoy natin 'yon lahat-lahat, no? Yung parties natin all night, no? Yung mga parties natin, and even also the celebration of birthdays, yun. And the most thing and then experiences, what they call this experience that we actually enjoy during before COVID-19 is the face-to-face interaction with students, with teachers, with our colleagues, no? So, ito yung mga ginagawa natin, madalas nating ginagawa, before COVID-19 pandemic, no? So, yan yung comfort zone natin. And then after our comfort zone, punta tayo sa fear zone. After that, dumating si COVID-19, the coronavirus disease, no? Nagsilabasan yung mga Qs na yan, si ECQ, si GCQ, si MGCQ, at lahat na ng mga Qs na yan, nagsilabasan sila. We were restricted, no? We were restricted to go out, and even also to visit some people in other places. Nandyan yung mga checkpoints na yan, no? Uh, and because of that, nagkaroon tayo ng panic buying. Remember when President Duterte announced that the entire Luzon will be locked down? So nagkaroon tayo ng panic buying noon, groceries, and even also some medical, supplies like the alcohol, the face mask, and everything. nagsibilihan tayo ng napakarami noon. And we were stuck at home, nag-stay tayo sa bahay, no? And because of that situation, nakikita natin minsan yung mga kapalpakan na ginagawa ng mga kasama natin, no? And we easily get annoyed because of that. And sometimes we feel paranoid na minsan kumakati lang yung lalamunan natin, naubo lang tayo, nasamid lang tayo, something like that. Para bang nandun tayo sa nandun tayo sa what you call this, sa competition ng The Voice na kapag naubo tayo, other people would actually nagto-turn head sila sa atin. So parang yun yung na-experience natin na nasisipon lang tayo and then nauubo lang tayo. We immediately associate this one to COVID-19. And because of this, negative situations and the negative feelings, minsan pumapasok tayo doon sa spectrum ng depression and other related mental health issues because of the COVID-19. And yeah, because of the COVID-19, nag-worry tayo. So we become like worried. So according to WHO, it is normal to feel fearful and then anxious during this time, especially in times of pandemic. So kailangan natin, we have to talk about these feelings para ma-lessen yung distress natin. No, you look for other people whom you can consider as your confidant and then discuss these things. Those people who can actually understand your true feelings and then thoughts. No? At isa sa mga feelings na kailangan na palagi natin nalilabel yung stress. No? Stress. So, this is the total response to one's environmental demands and then pressures. And makikita natin, 'di ba, minsan tatanong tayo, stress na ba itong nararamdaman natin? Stress na ba itong yung nararamdaman ko? So we uh, sometimes or all the times ask that question. So for you to be able to identify kung stress na talaga yung nararamdaman natin, let me give you these some signs and then symptoms. So assess and then evaluate your cognitive, no? Tingnan natin kung ano yung mga symptoms na pwedeng maramdaman natin kapag stress tayo cognitively. So naandyan si memory problem, naandyan si inability to concentrate, naandyan si poor judgment, and even also the seeing only the negative things, negative things around us, even anxiety, and also constant worrying. So lahat ng ito ay dala ng stress. Iniisip, ay yung utak natin ang apektado, no? Minsan, yung emosyon naman natin yung apektado. So these are the emotional symptoms. First is moodiness, no? Irritability or short temper, inability to relax, feeling overwhelmed, sense of loneliness and then isolation, and of course, depression or general unhappiness. And then assess also and then evaluate also your physical symptoms, yung mga sakit-sakit ng katawan natin. You know, the aches and then pains, the diarrhea and then constipation, nausea and then dizziness, chest pain and rapid heartbeats, even also the loss of sex drive and like frequent colds, no? So these are some signs of stress sa ating katawan. And let us also see and then evaluate our our behavior. No, so these are behavioral symptoms of stress. So the eating habit, it could be more or less. Sobrang kain at hindi makakain, and also the sleeping habit, hindi makatulog o kaya sobra namang tulog. No, and then you started to isolate yourself from others. We started to procrastinate, or we sometimes, or we most of the times neglect responsibilities. We started also to use alcohol, cigarette, and the drugs just to make ourselves relax, and also nervous habit. No? So these things, yung epekto nito sa atin, burnout tayo. Depleted yung energy natin. So our feelings of being overwhelmed. So if we all feel these negative, feelings over time, yung epekto nito, apektado yung ugali natin, apektado yung pag-iisip natin, and even also our judgment with other people. Okay? So nakita natin yung posibleng maging dulot ng stress sa katawan natin at sa ibang tao. Okay? So, punta tayo sa learning zone. Okay. So, bago natin puntahan pala yung learning zone, sabi dito, no? More than 40% of teachers have experienced serious symptoms of stress due to the pressure of excessive workloads and abusive parents and pupils. So even teachers, no, even also counselors, even also other professional mental health practitioners are not excused to feel stress. So lahat tayo, no, lahat tayo ay pwedeng tamaan ng stress. Ang kagandahan kasi, tayong mga nasa helping professionals, kailangan talaga natin labanan ito kasi tayo yung mga professionals na pwedeng tumulong sa mga tao na nakakasalamuhan natin, especially people who are experiencing stress and other, negative other people who are experiencing and then feeling negatively. Okay? Now, punta tayo doon sa learning zone. Okay? So, dito sa learning zone, makikita natin, so uh, this is the zone where we can actually deal with challenges, with difficult situation, ano? And this is also the zone where we can actually acquire new skills that would actually increase knowledge and develop self-confidence. And this is also the zone where we can capacitate ourselves to identify our true feelings and then emotions. And we will be starting in this particular zone. How are we going to give up? What are the things that we are going to give up? And then to also control the things that we can't do. Okay? And one of that is recognize. So kanina baga tinanong ko kayo kung how do you feel today, no? And then sabi ko din kanina, it is very important to identify and then to label your feelings, no? So meaning we have to recognize our feelings whether it is positive or negative, because recognizing the emotions or thoughts that trouble you, no? Noticing them without judgment, and then just noticing and then naming the passing parade of your thoughts, feelings, and then sensation can provide some, immediate relief. Ito ang sinasabi ko na kapag nalaman natin yung totoong nararamdaman natin, may magagawa at may magagawa tayo. And is that yung magagawa natin can happen in the learning zone that we will be presenting, no? So una, paano natin, how do we manage to cope with stress? So sabi dito, self-care, no? So self-care is not selfish. So mag-me time muna tayo, mag-me time, no? So self-care is a priority and necessity. This is not a luxury in the work that we do. So we have to pamper ourselves. We have to do something about ourselves. Kasi ito yung sarili natin ang kapital natin, kailangan natin pangalagaan yung sarili natin. So how? Number one is food, right intake. So kumusta naman yung mga kinakain natin? So tayo mga Pinoy, di ba, kain-kain tayo, mahilig tayong kumain, but we have to be very careful also the food that we intake. Kasi sabi ng isang guidance counselor dito, kain-kain time with family, no? So studies affirm that gut health is linked with mental health. So kailangan natin, we have to satisfy ourselves with the right food and even also nutritious food. Next is exercise. So do you engage also to physical activity? So if not, start engaging with physical activities, kasi sabi dito, when our body moves, our brain also grooves. And one of the counselors said that the beautiful things about cycling is that it targets all aspects of life, the physical, the social, no? Pagdating sa physical, ito yung exercise. Pagdating naman sa the social, we are meeting other people and the new people with the same passion. In terms also of emotional, the mental toughness when the distance is far, that I have to finish the journey. So there is no room for giving up, even if I am so tired. If it's tired. So spiritual wonders of nature. So I mean, this is actually the beautiful or the benefits of engaging to physical activities. Next also is the dance, 'di ba? Another also another activity that you can actually do is dancing, 'di ba? Yung ibang mga teachers natin, they are starting to engage to TikTok. So dance those stress away while preparing modules, no? So the TikTok apps can actually help us in promoting self-care also. Kaya lang we have to be reminded that doing TikTok during office hours is not actually advisable. So you can also do some TikToks outside, office hours. Okay. What about wait, what about using our senses, 'di ba? Using our senses. Ay, hindi pa pala ito. Okay. What about this one? Massage, no? So submit also your tired body to a massage. And no, this is actually one beautiful thing to those with partners kasi you can actually let your partner, your husband, no, to do some massage on you. So for those who are also single, you can actually do some massage with yourself. Or marami namang massage parlor dyan. Kaya lang because nga of pandemic, we are restricted to do so. And what about reading favorite books? Reading books is actually one beautiful way on how we treat ourselves. And of course, 'di ba yung panahon ngayon, the plantitos and then the plantitas, very relieving din kasi yung pagtatanim natin ng mga lalong-lalo na kapag nakikita natin na umuusbong ang dahon at bulaklak ng mga pananim natin. It's a very rewarding feeling, no? Okay. Another, what about your sleep? So, kumusta naman yung tulog natin? Tayo ba ay natutulog pa ng tama at sapat na oras? O kaya 2 oras na lang o kaya 1 oras na lang o kaya 3 oras na lang because of, the tasks, because of yung trabaho natin o kaya because of the time that we spend to social media, no? So we have to be very careful also doon sa paggamit ng social media. So sabi nga dito, um, ilang oras ba dapat natutulog yung yung tao, no? So titingnan natin, lalong-lalo na tayo, nandito tayo sa I think younger adults o kaya adults. So our sleeping hours is supposedly kailangan meron tayo dapat yung oras natin is 7 to 9 hours daw yung tulog natin. So kumusta naman yung mga tulog natin? Are we still like sleeping with like 7 to 9 hours pa rin ba o kaya 3 hours na lang, 4 hours na lang o kaya 2 hours na lang? Okay? So there are like good benefits that we can actually get if we enjoy the sleeping time, no? So tingnan natin, evaluate natin, i-assess natin kung ilang oras pa ba tayo natutulog. Also, social support. And one of the counselors said that constant meetings with colleagues, consultation with superiors, and get together when possible. Kaya lang sabi ko nga, this time of pandemic, we are restricted to do so. But we can actually meet with our colleagues, do some consultation with superiors through online, with the aid of social media and other digital platform. Sige, what about the senses? No, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. The sense of sight, the sense of smell, and the sense of hearing can do something to promote self-care and positivity and resiliency. So yung sight, we have to be very careful. I mean, we have to be, kailangan maging mapili tayo sa mga titingnan at mga kinikita natin, like the green environment can actually relieve our tired eyes, no? So, 'di ba, masaswerte yung mga kasama natin na talagang meron pa rin kayong nakikita na rice field and the trees, the mountains and then the hills na puno ng lunti ang kapaligiran. Ay naku, napakaganda. Or you can also watch your favorite movie. What about the sense of smell? So you can bake your favorite bread or cake, or you can even use your favorite perfume, no? And what about the sense of hearing? You can actually listen to soothing music that can, make yourself relax, no? And to promote self-care. Okay? Sige. And let's go to cognitive reframing. And this is also one way to to alleviate and then to lessen your stress. So this is actually pains, no? When we talk about cognitive reframing, we most of the times make use of the pains. Not actually the pains and then the aches, but this is the positive attitude in negative situation. So when we talk about cognitive reframing, we reframe negative thoughts into positive agreement. Like for example, in times of pandemic, 'di ba, pinipigilan tayo na ayaw lumabas at 'wag makipagkita. So, puwedeng the situation could be, my friends and I cannot see each other, so that is the negative thought. But if we are going to make that negative thought to a positive agreement, puwede natin sabihin, my friends and I are protecting each other, no? So, I'm stuck at home even, I mean, instead of like staying in that particular thought, you can actually reframe that into I'm safe at home. No? I have lost all my freedom. Yung negative thought na yan. So you can actually uh, translate that into a positive agreement by I have relinquished my freedom for a noble purpose. Diba? So how can we do cognitive reframing in the teaching? So, 'di ba? May mga kasama tayo na ayaw-ayaw na nila ng online teaching, ayaw-ayaw na nila ng maggamit ng computer because they don't know how to do. So sabi nila, I give up, ayoko na. And then instead of thinking to give up, pwede mo namang sabihin, I'll use a different strategy. So kapag naramdaman mo ng napakahirap nito, pwede mo namang isipin na this may take some times. O kaya kapag hindi nag-work yung plan B, pwede mo namang sabihin, "Ah, there is always a plan B." No? Yung positive thought, I made a mistake. So you can actually convert that into a positive agreement by mistakes, by looking at this way, mistakes help me learn. O, di ba? So, etong kagandahan kapag nire-reframe natin yung situation from positive, I mean, from negative to positive. And remember that the 2021 mindset is let go of what is gone and be grateful for what remains and look forward for what is coming. Okay, so that's it. Always remember that we teachers, we counselors are considered as catalyst to force, no? To accept change so that we would be able to meet the learning needs of our students. And also, these different mindset and skills are, you know, are very important o kaya essential so that we would be able to unleash our full potential, no? Kasi, di ba sabi ko nga, we considered as catalyst of change. So we have to unleash this, we have to unleash our full potential so that we would be able to to provide the necessary services and of course to become more efficient and effective transformator to our learners, to our students. Okay, so how are we going to unleash our full potential? First is train your brain to learn new things by embracing the uncomfortable situation. If you are situated in a negative situation, you can actually start by thinking on how are you going to overcome it, and then once you overcome that, you can actually start embracing it. And number two, you can actually set small realistic goal. So remember the SMART principle. And number three, don't listen to those who are trying, no, to bring you down. So do not be discouraged because when you are proposing something, when you are introducing something, there are always people who are actually saying who will be saying always no. So do not be discouraged about that. And number four, commitment is the compulsory factor. So the commitment is actually required. No, our commitment is required. So once you commit, you give your 100%. And of course, in doing such, accept also failures because we always start with, failures. Palagi tayong nagsisimula sa pagkakamali, no? And, these failures uh, can actually help us to realize and to become, a good and a better version of ourselves in the future. And of course, there is no shame in getting support. So everybody starts from like discovering how to do such things, no? And always remember that there are people around you who can actually assist you. So do not hesitate to ask help and then assistance from these people. Sabi nga ng isang produkto, ng isang kumpanya, huwag mahihiyang magtanong. Okay? And of course, set your own benchmark and avoid comparison. And this is actually um, very effective on how to sustain and then maintain positivity in life. No? So avoid comparing yourself with other people. Do not compete with each other. No? Always remember that the sun and the moon shine at their own time. Okay? So don't be jealous with anyone. Do not compete with anyone. Just focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Okay? So that's the learning zone. Now, let's go to the growth zone. So, in the growth zone, dito na natin, how are we going to start living from stress and how are we going to experience and achieve the full happiness? So, dito sa growth zone, makikita natin yung natin, yung tawag nito, yung kahulugan natin, our purpose, no? And then we will also be starting to help other people and thinking of others and how are we going to help them. And of course, we will be living the present and focus in the future pagdating dito sa growth zone. And in the growth zone dito natin maipapakita yung mapasalamat natin, yung gratefulness natin. And even also 'di ba? We will also find ways to adapt changes. So dito rin natin makikita yung dito rin natin magkakaroon din tayo ng opportunity dito to set new goals and realize our aspirations and we could even expand our visions and maintaining a positive state and spreading hope. O, di ba? So, nandito yan sa growth zone natin. So, yon. So, the growth zone is actually anchored on the positive psychology, no? And according to Seligman, is the positive side of life buildable? Sabi niya, yes, it can be built, no? So, pwedeng-pwede natin ma-establish yung tinatawag nating positive. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Let me introduce you, no, the new theory of well-being, and this is actually proposed by Seligman in 2016. So the Perma. So this is the new theory of well-being. P stands for positive emotions, E for engagement, R for relationships, and M for meaning, and A accomplishment. So let us take this one by one. So first is positive attitude. No? So remember, the positive attitude can actually uh, can bring us can reduce, positive mental attitude can reduce stress, can increase collaboration, can also spark proactive action, can create healthy work environment, can improves time management, can build better relationships, and can boost creativity. So, 'di ba, ang ganda ng positive mental attitude natin. So, it can, it can make um what do you call this? It can multiply positive, positive behaviors, positive actions, and even also positive environment with other people. Okay, so in the positive attitude, stop focusing on how stress you are, no? And remember how blessed you are. So do not focus on the on the things that make you stress. So but instead remember how blessed you are. So tingnan natin ito, no? Para maiwasan natin yung stress na 'yan, just focus on the things that you can do, on the things that you can control. Ito yung puti na ito. And there are also things that you cannot control, that that can be considered as beyond your control. Okay? So etong pitch na ito, do not focus on that. Dito lang tayo sa puti. Yung mga bagay-bagay lang na dapat natin problemahin. Kung hindi mo na problema, wag mo nang problemahin. Let other people deal with that. Okay? So, nandito pa rin tayo sa positive attitude, the attitude of gratitude, 'di ba? Kailangan i-promote natin yung gratitude na 'yan, 'di ba? So, tingnan natin ito. World is full of negative people, but why not we try to be the first positive one? So, a lot of people this time are complaining about the system of the government, yung sistema ng pagbibigay ng ayuda, yung sistema ng learning modality natin, yung sistema ng module na yan, ang daming complaints. Pero kakaunti lang yung nagpapasalamat, 'di ba? So, uh, ano ba yung mga, 'di ba? We have received many gifts every day. Marami tayong natatanggap na biyaya at grasya nang gagaling sa Kanya. Pero nagpapasalamat ba tayo? No? So today, I am grateful for what? Number one, so many reasons to be grateful. Your family. No? So may iba dyan na pag-uwi sa bahay, reklamo ng reklamo sa asawa niya, sa mga anak niya, sa kapatid niya, sa nanay niya, sa tatay niya, no? Tapos to the point, they are like started to say na sana hindi na lang kayo ang pamilya ko. But always remember, no, your family is a dream of every orphan. No? At dahil sa mga taong ito na pinoproblema niya, parang ayaw niya nang umuwi sa bahay. No? Parang gusto niya lang niya mag-iba ng bahay. And always remember that your house is the dream of every homeless person. No? What about your health? Uh, do we say and then do we express gratitude to someone who provides us with good health? Nagpasalamat tayo kasi may iba na mga kasama natin na hindi na may ibang tao na naandun sa ospital at patuloy na nakikipaglaban sa kanilang mga sakit, lalo-lalo na sa COVID, pero tayo walang sakit, walang iniinda sa katawan, and we have to be very grateful about that. What about your job? 'Di ba? Sa trabaho natin ngayon, sa panahon natin ngayon, ang dami nating reklamo. Mali-mali yung module, walang printer, si nanay pasaway, something like that, yung mga bata ganito ganyan, ang dami nating reklamo, no? But we have to be very thankful, no? Because our job is the dream of every unemployed. So isipin natin na may mga kasama tayo ngayon na nawalan ng kita at nawalan ng trabaho. So tayo yung mga nasa gobyerno, patuloy tayong tumatanggap ng sweldo kahit na hindi tayo masyado nagtatrabaho, 'di ba? So, 'di ba may mga kasamahan tayo na nag-work from home, pero minsan may mga reklamo pa din tayong natatanggap at naririnig tungkol sa work from home, no? So, kailangan magpasalamat tayo sa mga biyayang natatanggap natin. So, attitude of gratitude. Okay? And another positive attitude is happiness, no? So everybody is actually promoting happiness, even also some commercials on TV, on television, on radio, and even also in print, no? To name some, eto, 'di ba si Coca-Cola palaging nagsasabi, open happiness. Another is, 'di ba si Smart, nagsasabi si Smart na live more. So to people who have problems, no? And there are also people who think that the only solution to their problem is to commit suicide. No, that's not the only solution, and then that's not the only solution to solve problem. Sabi ng Smart, live more. Wala naman sa atin talaga na I remember I attended and then I heard mass yesterday, and then the priest asked us, sino ba dito yung walang problema? no? And nobody raise his or her hand. Wala nagtaas. So meaning, lahat tayo may problema. And that is normal, no? Walang taong walang problema. Kaya nga sabi ni BDO, every time that there is a problem, we find ways. Okay? So, these products and then these companies also help us in promoting positivity. So, kailangan positibo lang tayo at kailangan mas masaya lang tayo. Okay? So, sa pagiging masaya naman, it is not how much we have, but how much we enjoy that makes us happiness. And sometimes there are people who have everything, but they cannot make themselves happy. May iba naman sa atin, may mga kasama naman natin na kahit nabigyan mo na siya ng konti, pero masayang-masaya na siya. Nagkaroon lang siya ng kaunti ng ganito, pero sobrang masaya na yung tao. So meaning, the source of happiness is not actually correlated with the things that you have, the money that you have in the bank, no, or the degree that you earned or the degree that you obtained. Hindi rin yon talaga kung papaano natin ini-enjoy yung mga bagay-bagay na meron tayo ngayon. So we have to be thankful on the things that we have because perhaps ito din yung nagbibigay sa atin ng kaligayahan, no? At ang pagiging masaya is not actually by chance, no? It is actually by choice. So we will be exactly as happy as we decide to be. So mararamdaman lang talaga natin yung tunay na kaligayahan kung gugustuhin natin. Kahit na napakaliit na bagay, kahit na meron ka lang na ganitong halaga, kung gugustuhin mong maging masaya, magiging masaya ka. Okay? But how are we going to sustain happiness? Paano ba natin masusustain yung happiness na yan? So there are so many beautiful reasons to be happy. So acceptance is actually one. No? Maging kontento tayo. Tanggapin natin kung ano meron tayo. Tanggapin natin kung ano tayo. Because once that we recognize, once that we accept the things that we have, who we are, who we truly are, pwede natin, pwedeng magsimula yung kaligayahan dyan. Let go also of what was. So, kailangan din natin i-let go yung mga bagay-bagay na dapat na natin kalimutan. Do not hold on the things that we cannot have it anymore. So, kailangan na natin i-let go. Kung ano-ano man yung mga bagay-bagay na yun na wala na sa atin, tanggapin natin na wala na sila. No? And also believe in what will be. So, kailangan natin paniwalaan kung ano yung mga pwede nating marating. No? So, remember the hierarchical needs of Abraham Maslow, 'di ba? Sabi ni Maslow, if we satisfied, these things, there is a big possibility that we actually experience true happiness kapag na-achieve natin yung physiological needs, kapag na-experience na natin yung safety needs, social belonging needs, and even esteem needs. Magiging masaya tayo. Okay, so magiging masaya tayo, pero hindi pa rin may mga tao na kahit na na-enjoy na nila ito, hindi pa rin nila talaga maramdaman yung tunay na kaligayahan kasi naniniwala sila na meron pang iba pa na pwede pang makapagbigay at makapagdulot ng kaligayahan tulad ng cognitive needs, tulad ng aesthetic needs, and even also the self-actualization. Kasi yung theory na ito nagsasabi na if you were able to experience the self-actualization, doon mo lang mararamdaman yung happiness na yon, no? Pero sabi ng theory na ito, may panibagong may dagdag sa theory na ito na sabi nila, kapag naramdaman mo na and then if you were able to achieve the self-transcendency, that you were able to help other people, that you are now ready to surrender yourself and ready to sacrifice yourself for others, nandun na rin yung kaligayahan. So meaning, ang kaligayahan ngayon ng tao ay tumataas din, no? Hindi na tayo nagiging satisfied kung may kasama tayo sa bahay, kung safe tayo, subalit tumataas din yung level na ito, lalong-lalo na kung tayo ay nakakatulong na sa ibang tao at handa na natin ibuwis yung sarili nating buhay para maligtas yung iba. Yan din sa ibang tao ang tunay na kaligayahan nila. Di ba? Okay. Now, let's go to E. Tapos na tayo sa P, positive attitude. Let's go to E, engagement. So, in the engagement, this is the psychological connection to activities and also interested and engaged in life. So, how are we going to engage with? Paano ba tayo makikipag-engage? So, first is physical engagement. No, we have to move. Sabi ko na kanina doon kanina, exercise. And also healthy meals, no? Yung kain-kain kanina, but we have to be very careful on the food that we eat. And also social support. 'Di ba? Yung connection natin. So nabanggit ko na rin ito kanina. So how are we going to connect? So talk to someone and listen also to someone and make yourself also available and feel connected. No? Other next is be active. So do what you can, do what you enjoy, do what you love to do, no? So kailangan gawin mo. Napakasarap kasi sa pakiramdam kapag nagagawa mo yung isang bagay na ninanais mo, ano? And also take notice. Remember the simple things that give you joy. Yung mga maliliit lang na bagay na nakakapagdulot at nakakapagbigay sa atin ng kaligayahan. And of course, keep learning. Dito din sa engagement, nandiyan yung yung patuloy natin na pagpausbong ng ating kaisipan. So embrace new experiences and also see the opportunities and then also surprise yourself. And of course, one meaningful engagement is actually by giving. So it is not always give something or material things to other people kasi hindi naman lahat ng tao may maibibigay na material things, ano. So we can also give our time to people. We can also give your words of wisdom to other people that can make them also inspire and then motivated. And of course, your presence. No? So, pwede natin maibigay yon sa iba. Okay. Another point also in the engagement is get out from your comfort zone. No? So kanina na banggit na natin yung comfort zone na yon, but we have to get out from that. Sabi ng mga experts, no, um, yung comfort zone daw natin is the deadliest zone kasi may iba sa atin na complacent na ayaw nang lumabas sa comfort zone. Kasi if you stuck yourself in the comfort zone, para bang you are not giving yourself anymore to explore and to improve your things, to improve yourself, I mean. Kasi kapag nasa loob ka ng kahon mo, hindi mo na makikita yung oportunidad na naghihintay sa'yo sa labas. So get out from your comfort zone and start also to grow by lessening the no challenges that scare you, no to opportunities outside your comfort zone. Bawasan natin sing ayoko na, kayo na lang. So again, give yourself a chance to develop, to explore and to discover and rediscover things around you. Kasi sa panahon ngayon, ang bilis magbago ng panahon, ang bilis, no? Kung nasa loob lang tayo ng kahon natin, hindi natin makikita yung mga pagbabago na iyon. And the worst is, hindi na tayo makasabay sa agos ng panahon. Okay, let's go to our relationship. So we are what they call is reminded to establish positive relationship that is socially integrated and that we care about and supported by others. So relationship, this is also all about making connections and expanding our support system. Okay? So when we talk about relationships, sabi dito, committed to inner peace. No? Expansion and then gratitude plus self-love. So this actually entails to relationship with ourselves. No? Kailangan pagtrabahuan muna natin yung relasyon natin sa sarili natin. Kasi if we do not have that good relationship with ourselves, how can we establish good relationship with other people? So kailangan muna natin pagtrabahuan yung relasyon natin sa sarili natin. Okay? Kasi sabi dito, your relationship with yourself sets the tone for everyone, for every other relationships that you want to establish. Okay? Sige. Positive relationship, sabi dito, a great relationship is about two things. First, appreciating the similarities, and second, respecting the differences. Okay? A good relationship is when someone accepts your past, supports your present, and encourages your future. Don't worry with the relationships. Don't worry with other people na napapalayo na sa atin. Kasi ang importante dito, makapag-establish tayo ng relationship. Kasi once that you have established that relationship, no, the connection is actually real. Totoong-totoo yung connection na ito kapag nakapag-establish tayo ng totoo. Sabi dito, the relationship that we have established and rooted with trust and loyalty, they simply never die. No, they can be buried, they can be ignored, or they can even walked away from, but never broken. If you have deeply resonated with another person or place, the connection is or the connection remains despite any distance, despite the time, despite the situation, and even also lack of presence or circumstances. So real connection live on forever. And that is coming from one of the experts in terms of promoting good relationship. Okay. And as the world becomes a more digital place, we cannot forget about human connection. Now, even though that we are using other, platforms, social media just to connect and then reconnect other people, always remember that mas maganda pa naman daw talaga yung connection, yung human connection. Kaya lang, sabi ko nga kanina, in times of pandemic, we cannot actually enjoy human connection this time. So just be contented, no? Let us just be contented on the connection that we are enjoying this time through digital connection and social media. Okay? Sige. All right. So, sa connection pa din, surround yourself with positive people who believe in your dreams, who encourage your ideas and support your ambitions and bring out the best in you. So, still, good people, positive people. So, surround yourself with positive people. And kasi it actually radiates when you have that positive uh, inner self, magra-radiate yan into, establishing relationship with other people. Makikita at makikita yan ng ibang tao at ramdam yon ng ibang tao na yung inner self mo ay positibo na pwedeng magdulot din sa kanila ng magandang relasyon. Okay? So, ipagpatuloy natin yung magandang relasyon na nating nasimulan for us to really experience a happiness and promote resiliency. Let's go to M, meaning. So, this is the purpose in life. And then do something, sabi pa dito sa meaning, do something that your future will be proud of. And make it also to a point, no, to be kind to someone each day. So difficulties in your life do not come to destroy, but to help you realize your hidden potential. 'Di ba, sa buhay natin minsan may mga problema tayo or most of the times may mga nararamdaman tayo at may mga problema tayong pinagdaraanan. Pero yung meaning pala ng problema na yon, no, ay ginagawa lang pala tayo ng Panginoon na isang maging matatag na tao na hindi matalo-talo ng unos at bagyo ng buhay. Sa buhay pala, sa buhay. So these are the meaning of those problems that we have in our life to make us stronger. But we have to think also our future. I mean, our purpose in life. Why is it that we are still existing in this world? Ano kaya ang halaga ko at saysay ko sa mundo? Ano kaya ang halaga at saysay ko sa aking pamilya? At ano kaya ang saysay ko at kahulugan ko sa aking departamento o kaya sa DepEd? No? So, ang kailangan natin, pag nilay-nilayan din yon. And one way also to discover your meaning is, to be kind to all people, regardless of race, regardless of gender, regardless of economic status, of, these people around you. Make it to a point to be kind to, other people or to someone each day. So the meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away. Okay? So let's go to A, accomplishment. Malapit na tao. So this is actually the last letter in the PERMA, no? P stands for positive attitude, E for engagement, R for relationship, and M for meaning, and this time for accomplishment. So sitting and making progress towards goals, having a sense of accomplishment. Ang sinasabi dito is accomplishments are not always manifested with good grades, medals, and other forms of recognitions. Kasi, di ba, in the world of work, our accomplishments can be manifested with reports, with achievements, no, with achievements. Once you accomplish this, once you have achieved your target or your goal, there is a sense of accomplishment, no? Kaya nga yung mga anak natin ngayon ay talagang napaka-concern nila sa mga grades because once they have received good grades, and that is, a sense of accomplishment. Let us not settle on that accomplishment alone. Wag tayong mabuhay sa ganung klaseng accomplishment lang kasi we can consider that sense of accomplishment as parang mababaw lang. We have to go deeper, no? Kailangan palalimin natin kung ano ba yung sinasabing accomplishments ng isang mabuti at masayang tao. Sabi dito, accomplishment comes from making positive efforts even in the face of negative circumstances. No? So napakaganda. Even that you are like stuck in a negative situation, you are still making a positive effort to do such things, to help other people, to make other people, happy and satisfied. That is, real and good accomplishments in life. No, so do everything with a good heart and expect nothing in return, and you will never be disappointed. No, 'di ba? Helping other people is actually an accomplishment. Touching other, I mean, touching the hearts of other people. That is, a very meaningful accomplishment. um Helping other people and without expecting anything in return, and that is also a big accomplishment. So when we do such things, alisin natin yung mga expectations na yan kasi you know what, these expectations make us disappointed when, you know when the expectations that we set hindi nangyari, and we turned out disappointed. So remember that when we do things with other people or to other people, alisin natin yung mga expectations na yon. Okay? So, we work to live, not to die. Always remember that, no? Always remember that we work to live, not to die. Kaya, when you feel you need a break, take a break. When you feel tired, take a rest. When you sick, file a leave. Never mind your inconsiderate boss. Basta mind your health. Remember that when an employee dies, he dies. An employer will soon find another. We must love our work, but it is not worth dying for. Always love yourself. Kasi at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's stronger, who's smarter, who's prettier, or who's richer. The only thing that matters is whether you are happy or not. Okay? So always remember, psychology says, when you start taking care of yourself, you start feeling better and you start looking better, and you even start to attract better. So it all starts with you. Okay, so that's the end of my sharing this morning, and I hope you learn things from my presentation. So good morning and God bless.